French police are hunting for a second fugitive they believe escaped after the terrorist attacks in France this past Friday. Officials told the Associated Press they now believe there is at least one more attacker than they initially thought and are working to identify that person. According to a U.S. official, the suspected mastermind is 27-year-old Abdelhamid Aboud. He is said to be a part of an Islamic State cell that American intelligence has tracked for months. A candlelight vigil was held in Market Square tonight to honor those killed in the Paris attacks. The vigil was organized by the French Honor Society at UT. The Society's president, Alex Brito, wanted to show support for those who were affected by the attacks while honoring the victims.
It's actually something I had been thinking about in the days after the attacks. I was thinking, wow, this is hugely devastating and important for the globe to kind of recognize.
Brito wanted to make sure the whole community could be involved. The event brought in around 80 to 100 people. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is in Paris today meeting with staffers of the U.S. Embassy and France's President François Hollande. Kerry told reporters that a ceasefire between the Syrian government and its opposition could be weeks away. French President Hollande is expected to meet with President Obama in Washington, D.C. within the next week regarding Syria and fighting Islamic extremism. The White House held a phone conference today with 34 governors regarding the accepting of Syrian refugees. The call highlighted refugee screening and how they would be granted permission to enter the states. According to administration officials, screening involves an overseas interview, fingerprinting, biometrics, and biographical investigations. While the federal government runs resettlement programs, state authorities hold no power in excluding refugees from their jurisdictions. A Blount County toddler is alive after being left alone for days following her grandmother's death. 15-month-old Briar Inichin had been staying with her grandmother when the girl's mother asked her boyfriend Anthony Waldo to check on her. Waldo called for police after finding the doors were locked. First responders found the grandmother Annette Inichin dead in her bathroom and suspect she had been dead for a few days. Briar is being treated at Children's Hospital. With Thanksgiving just around the corner, the holiday cooking season is here. This time of year is when the most foodborne illnesses arise. It is important to be mindful of the foods being used, how they are cooked, and how they appear. UT Assistant Professor and Food Safety Extension Specialist Faith Kreitzer says that foodborne pathogens may not be seen on food, so it's important to rely on senses.
By all means, if things do not look right and do not smell right, please do not eat them.
This reliance on the senses goes past the home kitchen. The same rule applies when going out to eat. For WUTK News, I'm Danielle Whaley.